Not that long ago, we posted a room tour of our home theater, something that a lot of you seem to enjoy. And as mentioned in that video, we promised to do a part 2 once we had updated some more things in the room, and we felt like now was a good time to do so. It's still not 100% done, but we're getting close. We'll talk more about future plans later in this video as well. For now, enjoy this update and also make sure to check out the previous part linked in the description down below. To quickly recap, we recently bought our first house and one of our goals was to build our very own at-home theater. Over the past few months, we've been hard at work making this happen. But it would not be possible without you guys watching and supporting our content, so thank you so much for helping us make this idea come to life. Everything we will use in this setup and talk about in this video will be linked down below and on our website, CamXPetra.com. So overall, from the last video, we have been working on the details of the theater as well as some future-proofing. Now, when you're about to enter the theater, you'll be greeted with nice velvet theater ropes and metal signs informing you of the quality of the theater. The signs are for Dolby Atmos, 4K Ultra HD, IMAX Enhanced, and PlayStation gaming system. Additionally, we also added some nice gold details around the door that really help enhance the gold theme we're going for, as the base color was just a little too dull on its own. In the future, we plan to add 2 or 3 powered monitor screens on the wall to show off different movie posters. These will be connected to a smart stick or a mini PC. We also plan on painting the entire hallway black and add matching velvet ropes and a black and gold painting on the opposite wall to really bring this entryway together. When you enter the theater, the first thing you'll notice is that we have added a second row of theater seats, namely the Valencia Oslo Ultimate Edition in gold stitching. We love these seats, and our original pair of 2 have held up incredibly well for the past few months, with no indication of quality loss even with heavy usage. Though it was a little tricky to plan out the layout of the second row due to the slightly smaller space we have towards the back of the theater than we would have liked. But in the end, we opted to put them close enough to the front row that you can still walk behind them and have enough space on each side of the seats, but still far enough away from the front row to be comfortable for your legs and feet while watching a movie. We did, however, have to sacrifice the reclining features of the back row seats, as the legs would intercept the front row, but you can still use the lumbar and neck adjustments and of course the RGB function. As we are a 2-person household, this was the best option for us to keep the room from feeling too crowded while still allowing for 2 extra seats. We will, however, add a 7-inch riser platform to the back row to lift up the chairs a bit to ensure everyone will still have a great viewing angle throughout the movie instead of seeing the heads of the front row. We are currently working on this and will include it in a future update. For now, we are super happy with these chairs and thank Valencia for sending them to us to review. Back to some small details added to the room. Similar to the outside of the door frame, we also added gold trim details on the inside, making it more cohesive. We also added gold trim around our snack bar and ceiling, completing the look. We are super happy with how these small details really brought the design of the room together. Speaking of, we also added some gold curtain rods and classic red curtains to each side of the room and behind the projector screen to really drive home the theater look. It also gives the room a more cozy vibe and helps with the sound. But curtains isn't the only way we have made sure that the sound in here is optimized, as we also put up sound panels throughout the entire room. We also have sound panels on each of the doors, matching with the door's red color, and along the walls and ceiling in black. The wall and door panels are 4 inches thick, while the ceiling ones are 2 inches thick. They add an incredible calmness to the room and really helps our overall audio experience. Huge thank you to ATS Acoustics for sending these for us to review. We are super impressed so far. Speaking of audio, it's probably where our theater lacks the most. Currently, we are only using a Vizio soundbar with 2 small surround sound speakers and 1 subwoofer. We are working hard on finding big theater speakers that would really deck out our theater and bring it all together. Our plan is to have 2 tall front speakers, a center speaker underneath the projector, followed by 2 subwoofers and 4 surround sound speakers around the room. We will make an updated video once these are installed, as we are super excited to get that integrated. As you saw in our last video, we are still using the VividStorm 120-inch projector screen, but this time we have it wall mounted with metal brackets. This allows us to keep it close to the wall while still being off the floor, and giving us enough space to still use the window behind the screen when needed. The curtains here can also be held open with this gold rope, letting in light. We also added the extra detail of a red piece of wood to hold the screen into place and bring the color scheme together. We contemplated adding some gold here too, but the reflection was just too distracting. Instead, we went for an RGB strip underneath the screen and around the window frame that can be turned on or off during the movie. To future-proof and clean up the cables around the theater, we have installed 4K HDMI and audio cables within cable hiders alongside the room, and routed some through the wall towards our server room, which actually used to be a walk-in closet. The plan here is to get a server rack and have everything organized and well ventilated while being out of sight from the main room. We will also route the theater chair cables underneath the carpet. The theater doesn't only have a server room though, but it actually also has its own bathroom, thanks to this room normally being used as the master bedroom. We painted the bathroom black and the doors red, and added some gold towels to match the aesthetics. Like last time, we are still using the BenQ X3000i projector. We are super happy with this projector as it's been great for both gaming and movies, with pretty visuals and impressively low latency at only 4.2 milliseconds at 240 Hz at 1080p, or slightly slower at 4K. We have the projector mounted to the ceiling with the universal mounted projector ceiling mount, and then routed our cables through the wall. All the lights in the room are hooked up with Google Home for voice control, which makes it incredibly easy to turn on or off before and during a movie. The 8 ceiling-mounted lights at the side of the seats can do a ring of RGB colors or act like a white spotlight, which is great when setting different moods depending on what we're watching or to just get a lot of light in. These are of course voice controlled, as are the 2 neon signs, by being connected to smart plugs, so we don't have to look for a remote every time. It just makes the whole experience seamless. We also have an extra lighting fixture in the center of our ceiling that adds nice gold details as well as a bright light for in-between movies. As mentioned before, we added some gold details on the back wall's snack bar, but we also added a bunch of statues. We have a lot of statues in our gaming-themed basement, but we wanted to bring more personality to this room and decided to place the movie-themed statues in here. We really love the look of it and think they look great next to our RGB fridge and old-school popcorn machine. We have also added more actual snacks in this bar, but plan on filling it up even more in the future. Having this dedicated theater room has been such an incredible experience for us, as we have been getting way more into movies lately. We try to go to the normal theater at least 2 or 3 times a month to watch the new releases, but we still have a lot of older movies to catch up on. It's been great to be able to just walk down the hall after a long day of work and put on a movie and have the same, if not better, experience than going out to a normal movie theater. Working on moving into our new house, plus our full-time jobs, we've had very little time over to just relax. But spending some time in this room has been a great way to do so. We know it's not possible for many to use an entire additional room just for movies, but it was something we had in mind when looking at which house to buy, and we are super happy with that decision. Thank you again to everyone who has been supporting this channel and our social media, as well as our sponsors, for making this room happen. We look forward to future theater updates and also plan on making room tours for other parts of our house as they become more finished. Make sure to subscribe to see when we post that, as well as follow us on Instagram and TikTok for daily tech and setup videos at CamXPetra. Remember to go to our website, CamXPetra.com, to see the links to everything we used in our theater setup, and drop a comment if you have any questions or suggestions. Thank you.